It's time for Lily's very first focus episode. This episode is another example of what I talked about last time with the whole Chekhov's gun thing, and how the previous anime have never really been good at it. Honestly, it surprised me when I first saw it that this would be a kind of plot point instead of just some recurring joke. By that I'm referring to Lily's fear of touching Pokemon. Either way, a number of different points are dropped in this particular episode that are kind of important for later episodes, or at least kept in the back of your mind for later episodes. So without further ado, let's get into episode 8. We start our episode with Ash already at school. This is really good. Basically, Ash walking to school is basically the new They're Lost in the Forest for this generation of anime. Anyway, everyone watches Togedemaru rush around the classroom before it touches Lily, and of course she freaks out. Ash comments on Lily's inability to touch Pokemon, with everyone agreeing that it will take some time, but she'll be able to do it if she works hard enough. In the middle of all this, Samsonite calls for a special class, and they all move to his office, where he shows off 2 Pokemon eggs. He proposes a little challenge to the group, asking them to take care of one of the eggs while he'll take care of the other, in order for both to hatch. Lily picks the white egg, noting the floral patterns across it, and they all proceed to touch it. Lily touches the egg, only for it to move and cause her to freak out again. They decide to let Lily keep the egg for now, in order for her to learn to touch Pokemon, as well as she being the one to actually, pick the egg, while Salandit watches on. As they head home, Ash decides to make sure Lily and the egg are okay, or more like Mallow makes him do it, and a limo pulls up, and picks the pair up. They head to Lily's house, which is a large estate where they meet Lily's butler, Hobbs, before going inside with Salandit following behind them. We get a look inside of Lily's house and find there's a giant Pokemon playground inside of the place, and it's explained that she likes to observe Pokemon from there while keeping a safe distance. While inside, Lily tries making the egg more comfortable on the sofa, and takes out a book to study more about eggs so she can take better care of it. Ash knows Lily's love for Pokemon, and then sees a picture of a younger Lily alongside her family as she holds up a Lillipup, with Hobbs mentioning something happened that caused her fear of Pokemon, but she has no idea what it was and she doesn't remember. Doing another test to see if Lily can touch Pokemon, they try with Pikachu before using a sleeping Rowlet, and of course both fail. After failing again with Rotom Dex, they note Butterfree flying into the balcony, and Lily explains that she often makes Pokemon food for Pokemon as they come in. As Pokemon start to gather, Mallow appears, explaining she was worried, and Ash finds a battlefield, where Lily comments on Hobbs' strength as a Pokemon trainer. Ash being Ash, challenges Hobbs to a battle, and Lily watches on from the balcony, with Hobbs using a Pom-Pom style Oricorio, and Ash using Rowlet. The two birds have a pretty good battle, with Hobbs maintaining a lead in the match before Lily screams and breaks everyone away from the battle. Inside the room, Salandit makes its move trying to grab the egg from a terrified Lily, but Lily tries her best to guard the egg, until everyone arrives and fights off Salandit. They send Salandit flying Team Rocket style, and after all the chaos dies down, everyone realizes Lily is holding the egg, but after another quick test realize she hasn't fully conquered her fear yet. So, how did Lily's very first focus episode go? Pretty well, honestly. The episode itself is simple, which works best. We're introduced to a lot of things and plot points here, so having a focus on a pretty simple plot with the egg does work. On top of that, it leaves a lot of plot threads dangling for later episodes. Speaking of episodes, the title of this one is a very terrible pun. I mean, Excellent Adventure? That's a Bill and Ted joke. Now, when I first saw it, I never would have thought we'd see that egg from the first episode again, but yeah, it's there. In hindsight, it's pretty obvious what both the eggs will hatch into, especially when Samson Oak mentions where he found the white egg, which is why I didn't really mention it. But for those of you who haven't seen, it's kind of obvious that, the eggs will hatch into Vulpixes, or Vulpixi. What's the plural of Vulpix? Anyway, Lily herself is pretty interesting in this episode. She picks the egg for the floral pattern on it, although the floral pattern on the white egg makes no sense because we know it's going to hatch into a Vulpix. We do get a little bit more on the inside about Lily as a character and her motivations. Again, she's someone who will love studying Pokemon, but has a great fear of them, for some unknown reason. As I said at the beginning, we're given a lot of hints at some later episode details, as again we learn that Lily underwent some trauma involving her mother in some way. In hindsight, that line means something different than what pretty much everyone expected when we first heard it, but it's still an interesting line nonetheless. And that little quick battle we got between Ash and Hobbs was also really cool. It was just the right amount of action that we needed for this simple episode. Although Marlo really doesn't have much of a point showing up later in the episode. I mean, she's the one that pushes Ash to go with Lily, and that's a fine role as the person who somewhat forces Ash into the plot. But ultimately, it feels like she's just there just to be there at the very end of the episode. Overall, this is a pretty good episode with a good number of plot points gone over, a pretty enjoyable battle, and some character development here and there. So yeah, good episode that sets up stuff. I'll take that any day. Thank you all for joining me once again for this episode of this little series I'm doing. I hope you're all enjoying it. Like, subscribe, comment, that kind of stuff. If you want to contact me more directly, I'm on Twitter, which is down below. If you like reading stuff, I have a Tapas, which is also down below, a DeviantArt, which links back to Tapas, and I have a Twitch page that I am going to be more frequent on eventually. I hope you're all having a good day, and if you don't mind, I have other videos on the channel that you might enjoy. They might be showing up around soon. And again, I hope you all have a good day. So, till next time, everybody.